guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Well, we are trying to play catch up today because yesterday and the day before it rained, so we had to go to the city and then to town yesterday, so that's 2 wasted days. So, and everything's coming ripe in the garden, and so we're trying to play catch up and get some more veggies processed. I got some painting to do on a board we left in the rain in the truck. I want to get grass seed planted in the meat bird run. Just trimmed all the tomatoes, gonna pull some turnips. Pumpkins, what can I say about the pumpkins? We trimmed the pumpkins last week and they've gone absolutely insane. So we have to go look at the pumpkins. But before I get started, I just want to ask you to give us a thumbs up and share this video if you can with your family and friends. It really helps us out, especially a small channel just starting out. But let's go look at the garden and see what we're dealing with. Now, while I was baking scones this morning, Chris was out picking the peas. He got that pail picked and this pail picked. He's got half of this pail shelled already. This makes great compost as well, but this is a lot of peas to shell all at once, and he's been doing that. He's outside right now, and let's go see what else he's doing. I have also have to get Chris to help me raise the wheels on the mower so I can mow the orchard again, because you can't tell I mowed it. It's just crazy. And I want to get this seeded, like I said. My pretty boys and girls having some grain and some feed. Look how pretty Chrissy looks in the sun. Oh, I'm blocking the sun. Wilma is really green. Her black feathers are green in the sun too. And so are Fred's. You're such a pretty boy, Fred. Now, look at this. I mean, clearly this white guy's going to be a rooster too. And the other two are getting pretty prominent combs. We got way too many roosters here. The biggest surprise today is the first green egg. Chris thinks it was from Betty. Now, Chrissy was just in there too. That looked like she was going to go in and lay an egg. I don't know if you can see it in the sun. I might have to put them in the on the countertop. But the one down the bottom corner left is a green egg. What do you think, Ruby? That is one big bruiser of a baby you got there. My goodness, it's funny, he's got one brown feather coming out of his tail. And these turkeys, clearly somebody has to go to freezer camp pretty soon. We were watching some videos on butchering them. We need a bigger pot. What are you eating straw for, silly girl? You don't have to eat straw. There's lots to eat around here. Now I think this is little chicken up here. Oh, she's so scruffy. And then there's Peep Peep. She still hangs out in the coop all the time with her little crooked head. Not sure if she's laying or not. Ruby? Who's a good mommy? Oh, that is a big bruiser of a baby you got there. My goodness, look at the size of him compared to the others. Maybe that'll mean the other two are hens. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. So I just pulled this turnip here. That's plenty big enough for us. And see, some of them are sort of tubular like that. As Chris said, there was another one. Oh, yeah, this one definitely needs to come out. And maybe this one down at the end. Holy moly. Yep, that one could probably come out too. And then of course we end up with a massive amount of stuff to go in the compost pile again too. I don't know, will that come out through the hole that's already there? You can see we've got absolutely tons of peas still on the vine here. This was the second row I planted, so Chris just got the first picking off of these and the second picking off the first row. Well, it looked bigger, but that's just a nice size. That's the size I always look for in the grocery store to put in a pot of stew, so that's perfect for us. I just pulled a carrot. That's a nice size. I just wanted to see basically what they were like, so I might go through and just pull the biggest ones. I tried pulling one down here, right here, And the dirt was way too dry the other day when I did that. So that's a nice sized carrot. Might get some of those blanched and put in the freezer too. They're getting pretty big, but it's really deceiving because the greens get so big. Chris just found our first cantaloupe. Isn't it cute? Look at that. My goodness, the rain, I mean, it just makes such a difference. You can put the sprinkler on so much, and it doesn't seem to do the same thing as the rain. He said there was another one to my left or my right here, but I don't see it. But I mean, there are a million blossoms in here. So I'm really hoping that I can take one of these plants at the root and put it in the greenhouse. And look at this, look at the pumpkins. I mean, these were like tiny little things the other day. Last week we had a hard time even spotting them. They were so small. The other one was hiding. So little. There should be tons of them in here because there's a million blossoms. But I think there's a million little teeny weeny ones. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's really tiny. I saw some tinier ones than that even. Like you can see where the blossom was and how it's just starting. I trimmed the last tomato plant. It looks so sad. But another week and it'll look like I didn't even trim it. But I'm going to get a cage on this because you can see how it's leaning over. It ends up using the bottom leaves like these ones sort of as support. So I'll get a cage on this. But look at these pumpkins. Now apparently these get to be 60 pounds. Like, how many 60-pound pumpkins do you need? These are the ones you use for baking, so we won't have any trouble finding someone that wants pumpkins, that's for sure. Holy smokes. I mean, it was so thick in there we couldn't even get in there. That's where the plants originated, in that row over there. But even these ones here, these are huge already. Big, big difference. This one you can just see by my hand. Like they were like this big last week. Like smaller than that little teeny one. You can see how loaded the peas still are. I keep trying to get them, you know, growing on here so they're not blowing in the wind. But it's hard to keep up with, especially now that I can't walk here that easily. So these turnips, I mean, that one's way bigger than what I would normally buy at the grocery store. This size is just nice for a stew. Probably this one too. But that's 7 of them. And, you know, like if I can keep these over the winter, that'll be awesome. That's more than enough for us. We'll definitely get another picking of yellow beans too. There's tons here that were not big enough to pick. So we'll get a second picking off those, which is nice. Now, as far as this junky little greenhouse, you can see how I'm getting new leaves and tons of blossoms on the, this one's a lime tree. That is the one of the Meyer lemons. And this one here too, absolutely covered in blossoms again. A little lime coming. This one lost all the lower leaves. I'm just throwing them in there for mulch. I don't see, there's lots of little tiny lemons, but I don't see new blossoms on it yet. I just noticed I have my first little bell pepper here somewhere. Where did he go? Oh, there it is. First little bell pepper. Don't know what color it'll be. And this one here, still got, it hasn't dropped its fruit. So that's really, really important. There's tons and tons of limes on this little one, even though there's not much for leaves on it. And then that one in there is getting lots of little tufts of new leaves and tons of blossoms. So that makes me happy because I thought I destroyed these two. That one's the lime, I believe, yeah, and this one is the other Meyer lemon tree. It's so crowded in here now. Oh, there's some more little bell peppers coming. tons of blossoms all over all these peppers. These ones are gigantic. And these ones are obviously the sweet peppers, the long ones. So hopefully all these other ones are going to be my bell peppers. But I've got to get into that bin and get some weeds pulled out of there. Super happy about the new leaves and everything on these lemon and lime trees. And these are the two cherry tomato plants. I just changed the cages to the lower ones. I thought I had put beefsteak tomatoes in here, but obviously not. And we picked some last night. Chris is going to make a nice pasta dish using our own tomatoes, our own garlic, and our own onions. Now, look at these. They're trees. They're pepper trees. And all of these peppers I started from seeds from the kitchen, from buying peppers at the grocery store. And then I started that one with the seed, the new little jalapeno, because Chris likes jalapenos. So I got one there and a whole bunch of little red ones. Don't know why they're turning red, but they are. So pretty happy with things in here. All this stuff will get moved into the new greenhouse, and hopefully we'll have this stuff all year round. Now these last 4 tomato plants that I brought in here were really droopy, and I didn't really even know if they were going to make it. And then we got all that rain, so I thought they might be drowned, but they're all perking up now. Looking just awesome. So like I said, they'll just get moved into the greenhouse. I will pull the onions and probably plant something else in there that I want to be able to eat year round, like maybe more onions, or we certainly don't need more peppers. Holy moly. I moved these away from the wall of the greenhouse because they were not getting enough sun. Those pots over there too. And the raspberries are going crazy, finally. Can't wait to finally get some raspberries. Waited long enough already. The apples are doing awesome. Oh, look. Don't know, that must be a bird. But the bees are happy, aren't they? And then the chickens, yeah, something's eating these. So that one's picked as well, maybe by a bird. So I might have to pick these and get pie filling made. And yeah, do I have time to make pie filling right now? And this, now that the meat birds are gone, the turkeys seem to not be coming back here either, which is awesome, because they would have been picking the peas from the outside when they start growing on this. So this is the kind of thing that, you know, this was 8 peas that I planted in here. So if I'm doing this over and over again, then we're constantly going to have fresh peas to eat during the winter, which will be just amazing. Those 2 tomato plants aren't doing great, but I think I planted them in the pot to begin with. The other ones all got planted in the garden and then transferred here. So they obviously did do a lot better in the garden soil. Again, these are the trees that died. I believe this might be another honeycrisp. And this one is the Gloria tree. That over there is the Battleford. But my stick tree, I mean these are getting to be the size of apples you would get in the grocery store. So that one up there is the biggest. I see something has picked that one. Must be the birds. So we might actually have to pull these and start eating them, because it seems like they're all getting one hole in them, unless it's worms. I just don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. But yeah, this little tree is doing great. And hopefully we'll do even better next year. A little concerned about this joint here, but anyway. And I sure hope by leaving the rhubarb alone this year, I am going to get some decent rhubarb next year. That's the plan. Same with the raspberries. Well, I guess I'll help the old pea shucker for a while, because there's still one pail hasn't even started. 8 pounds, 3 ounces of peas to get packaged tonight, blanched and packaged. And that doesn't include the ones that went in my belly or to the compost because they were too far gone. We were just out tucking the chickens in, and we noticed Chris had the flashlight on and got little tails all sticking out of the nest here. Isn't that cute? You can see their little tails moving. Yeah. And one over here.